Kids 4-H Club.
And I'm Claire Sells, and I'm from Caledonia Ramblers.
From the young age of 10, we were told if boys pull your hair or poke you with pencils, that meant they liked you. But we didn't like it that much.
They must have forgot to mention that poking would turn into so much more.
We were only 12 years old when we were brainwashed into thinking that our growing bodies had to be small and skinny.
Even our bodies were changing and going through phases. We thought beautiful meant weighing the same as a Victoria's Secret model.
We were 14 years old when we would walk down the streets and watch men replace our identity as they looked from our head to our feet.
As they said cringe-worthy stuff to us.
We wanted to run.
We were frozen in place.
But we continued to walk fast-paced until we found a sidewalk on the other side of the road just to get away.
Even if it didn't lead us in the way we were originally going.
Because Mom always said if a strange man starts following you, walk to the other side of the road, walk fast, and if he grabs you, scream.
And this is something we had to learn at the age of 14 because we were just young meat.
We were spanked by the boys at our school, but it was cool because that meant we had nice bodies.
As they rated our bodies on a scale of 1 to 10.
And if you were a 10, you would spend your days hearing purrs and whistles and damn girl.
Because if you were a damn girl, that meant you weren't a damn girl at all. You were labeled, do whatever you want to me, even though I don't agree.
And we had to watch what we wore because if our shoulder was showing.
Then we had to change our clothing because it distracted the boys from their learning.
But the only thing we were learning were tips and tricks to tie up our shirts.
So that it didn't hang too low because that would show the guys what we want.
Because wearing shorts and tank tops meant we were flaunting it.
But it's 90 degrees outside and we have to cover up or to be undressed by the eyes of a 40-year-old man on the streets.
So when we were 16, we would scream because the men on the streets had finally caught up to us.
We quietly said,
Please don't touch us there. Please stop. But no meant go.
But that meant yes, so they grabbed us and unzipped our dress.
They threw us down where our dignity sank lower than the ground.
They hovered over us as we pleaded for them to stop.
They got on top, but you don't need to know the rest.
Because we're some of the 68% of victims that will never tell a soul.
So we'll just grab our dresses and go home, try to take a shower, and try to get some sleep.
In the morning, we'll pick out an outfit that is the most discreet.
Because we want to make sure that no man on the streets ever thinks we're sweet enough and want to taste.
We want to make sure that we are as covered as possible so that our identities are not replaced with walking candy.
And we will sit in the back of the classrooms so no one will ask us how our weekend was.
Because if they ask, we might burst into tears.
And we will live in fear.
We will run home so that we will never see the same man again that waits for us to be alone.
We went from little boys poking us to men provoking us.
We went from playing with toys to being toys ourselves.
So boys will be boys, and us women will never tell. Are there any questions?
Where did you find this reading?
The question was, where did we find this reading? We sat down and we worked together and thought, and we talked about what was most important to us.
So you wrote it yourselves?
Yes.
Very nice.
Thank you. Are there any other questions? Thank you for listening.
All right, whenever you're ready.
Good morning. My name is Blaine Finster from the O&O Kids 4-H Club, and I'm here today to tell you about the history of the Charolais cattle breed and the pros and cons of owning and showing them. The first thing you will need to know today is what the Charolais breed is. The Charolais breed is a medium to large frame beef cattle with a very deep and broad body. They are typically white but can also be red in color. They are even-tempered and are fairly laid back and can be horned or polled, which means they can either have horns or be genetically dehorned. Polled cows can still carry the horn gene, which means their calves can still have horns, so you must be selective with your breeding. The Charolais breed originated in Charles, France, and is one of the oldest French breeds, cattle breeds. There is even historical evidence that they were being noticed all the way back to 878 AD. They were used for draft, which means to be put to work, milk, and meat. Soon after the First World War, Jean Pouillet brought some of these cattle to his ranch in Mexico. He had seen them while serving in the war and was impressed by their productivity and appearance. He had ordered a shipment of 2 bulls named Neptune and Ortolan and 10 heifers. 2 later shipments in 1931 and 1937 increased the population of these cattle on his ranch to 37. He had died shortly after the final shipment. These cattle came to the U.S. in 1934. Cattlemen admired the muscleness, correctness, and size of both the heifers and the bulls. They also liked their calves. There was high demand for these cows because producers were looking for cattle that would increase their profits. In the late 1940s and early 1950s, the American Charbray Breeders Association and the American Charolais Breeders Association were established. Producers using other breeds to produce them, these cattle, were known as the International Charolais Association. Due to the limited availability of purebred cattle in the early years, producers made a 5-year breeding up program to expand the breed. It produced a 31 seconds Charolais cow. The American Charolais Breeders Association and the International Charolais Association merged into the AICA, or the American International Charolais Association. 3 years later, the American Charbray Breeders Association merged into the AICA that we know today. Some pros of owning and showing these cattle are they have good growth and uniformity, which means the end result is similar from one to the next. They have easy temperament, which means they can adapt to change easily and normally have a positive attitude. They're adaptable to many different settings, which means they can grow in any climate and can thrive in a feedlot or a pasture, and they have strong maternal instincts. Some cons of owning and showing these cattle are that they're a larger framed animal, which means they can eat more over time, which can lead to increased food costs for the producer. Animals with horns can pose a threat to both producers and other animals. Their white hair and pink skin can lead to sunburns, pink eye, and eye cancer. And on the show side, they dirty easily, and because of their white color, most dirty spots are very visible. There are many different breeds to choose from, but my family chose to breed the Charolais cattle because of their good growth and ability to withstand the harsh Iowa winters. I enjoy showing these cattle because I like the challenge of keeping them clean and in show condition. Are there any questions?
When you talk about the selective breeding, how do you know if they have that hidden gene for the horn?
I'm unsure of that information, but I will look it up for future knowledge.
Do you think it's just because you would just have to do the breeding and keep track of that a little bit, or do you think you can do it? You just don't know. I'm just curious. Can you do a blood test to find that out, or a DNA thing?
I don't know if you could do a blood test to find it out, but I'd assume after a while of breeding with one cow, you could probably figure it out after a little bit. Are there any other questions? Okay then.
Hi, I'm Whitney Yang, and I'll be in 10th grade, and this is my clothing selection outfit.
This is my clothing selection outfit.
Okay, so I have one question.
My name is Abby Woodall, and this is my clothing selection outfit. My name is Reese Farquhar, and this is my clothing selection outfit.
John 3:16. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believes in him should not perish but have everlasting life. John 3:16. To know your will, to hear your voice, to follow where you guide me, to search your word, to live your truth, to know your close beside me. And I will follow you, Jesus, to live a life that's pleasing. Oh, give me grace to do your will, and I will live for you. To seek your face, to feel your joy, to share the love you give me, to live my life to glorify the one who died to save me. And I will follow you, Jesus, to live a life that's pleasing. Oh, give me grace to do your will, and I will live for you. My name is Abby Woodall, and this is my fashion review outfit. I'm Reese Farquhar, and this is my fashion review outfit.
I'm Kate Dow, and this is my $15 challenge outfit.
My name is Abby Woodall, and this is my $15 challenge outfit.
We're Greg's the Name for Evil, and we're going to play Be Thou My Vision and Lover's Waltz.
My name is Abby Woodall.
And my name is Kate Dow. Our Iowa product will be featured is honey. Honey stored in sealed containers can remain stable for decades or even centuries. The honey we will be using today we got from the South of Bryan FFA. First, we will wash our surface and hands. Next, we will preheat the oven to 375 degrees, lay cupcake liners into medium-sized muffin tins. We modified the recipe to fit in medium-sized muffins. Now we will set the pan aside. Next, we will make the streusel topping. In a small bowl, add a half a cup of flour, 2 tablespoons and 2 teaspoons of sugar, and a pinch of salt. Then stir the ingredients together until well mixed. Then we'll add a half a tablespoon of honey, one teaspoon of vanilla extract, and 2.5 tablespoons of melted butter. Stir streusel with a spoon to mix. Streusel will resemble a thick paste. Did you know Iowa is 19th in honey production? Set the streusel mixture aside.
In a large bowl, add 1.5 cups of flour, 1 1/4 cups of fresh washed blueberries, 3/4 cup of sugar, 2 teaspoons baking powder, and a pinch of salt. Toss ingredients with a spoon until well blended. Set the bowl aside. In a large bowl, add a half a cup of milk, 6 tablespoons of melted butter, 2 eggs. Make sure that they are room temperature. Then add a tablespoon of honey.
Now we will
and
pour.
a half a teaspoon of vanilla extract. Stir until well mixed. In 2017, honey crop was valued at $4.51 million.
Now we will pour the wet ingredients into the dry ingredients. Stir the mixture until batter forms. If you have lumps in your batter, it is okay. Honey is sweeter than sugar, but has slightly more calories. Fill the 12 prepared muffin cups about 2/3 full with batter.
We're going to show you a couple.
Let us share some facts, some honey facts with you. To make 1 pound of honey, the bees in a colony must visit 2 million flowers, fly over 55,000 miles, and will be a lifetime work of approximately 768 bees.
A single honeybee will only produce 1/12 teaspoon of honey in her lifetime.
A single honeybee will visit 50 to 100 flowers on a trip out of the hive.
Honey was a hot commodity in medieval Europe.
Using a fork, fluff the streusel mixture until it breaks apart into pea-sized lumps. Top the muffins with the streusel mixture. We already have them prepared.
We'll show you a couple.
The colors vary on the honey of what types of flower the bee visits. Put the muffin pans in the oven and bake for 5 minutes, and then reduce the heat to 350 degrees and continue baking for 15 minutes or until muffins look done. Cool muffins in pan and then serve.
Thank you for taking the time to come and watch our presentation. We hope you enjoyed the presentation and encourage you to come to make the recipe at home.
If you have time, please check out our poster board. Thank you.
Here's what the muffins look like when they're done.